Vola anguela o veteronugu, ako itabua. Ako do talitaina na barong na Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
Bula, alang gonoa, ilutoka do talita ka ng Bula FM berarti nambandu na sere.
Ni Bula binaka, nanregen go sa Bula FM nga. Na kasi.
Nalang go sa mundo atibio ng Bula FM nambandu na sere nusuri.
Ni Bula binaka, nalang go Jerry, yang melambasa. Do barong na Bula FM, nambandu.
Bula FM, nambandu na sere.
In the news tonight, Lambasa family grieves death of woman. Government takes stance against child labour. And is FRA fighting a losing battle?
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
A mother of 3 is dead following what can only be described as a night of horror at Navour level Wainikoro outside of Lambasa last night. Alleged to have been hacked several times with a K-knife by her husband, Saleshni Devi's murder was witnessed by her parents and her 2-year-old daughter. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
The tears and heartbreak of a helpless father who could do nothing but watch as his daughter was horrifically struck with a K-knife by her own husband.
I saw him struck my daughter with a knife using his left hand.
The victim, 35-year-old Saleshni Devi, had been living in her father's house in Nawolebo Wainikoro, a small farming community outside of Lambasa, for the past 2 months with her 3 children, 11-year-old Sabnit Lal, 9-year-old Rikshana Lal, and 2-year, 8-month-old Shanaya Lal, following a spat with her husband, Rohit Lal. It's alleged that around 7 p.m. last night, Lal came to the house and turned off the power supply to the house by tampering with this meter box. When Devi came outside to check, he grabbed her and struck her with a K-knife several times.
He then struck here again, but my daughter used all her courage and ran inside the house. My wife was inside the house with my little granddaughter. My wife says he struck my daughter with a knife repeatedly.
At home with her was her 67-year-old mother, Sambawati, and daughter Shanaya.
Yes, I ran after him, but he chased me and said, "I will kill you all as well." But I managed to save their daughter. She's only 2 years, 8 months old.
The suspect then allegedly fled the scene after the family shouted for help. Without any form of transportation, the family frantically called police for help. But they didn't arrive until 2 hours later. By then, Devi had passed on. The suspect was later arrested at his home in Daku Wainikoro and is now in police custody. Family, friends and neighbors are all still in shock, turning up at the family home to offer their condolences to the grieving parents and the 3 young children who have now become motherless in another horrific domestic violence killing. Eleanor Turangaibu, FBC News.
A 23-year-old man charged with 1 count of murder has pleaded guilty in court. In taking his plea, Suliasi Fuata stated he pleaded guilty of his own free will. The court heard that on June 28th, Fuata punched and stabbed his 19-year-old partner in Nasinu. The incident happened after a heated argument over a Facebook message that was sent by the victim. The matter will be recalled next Tuesday before the Suva High Court. The Fijian government today made it stand clear that child labour, forced labour and human trafficking will not be tolerated in the country. Minister for Employment Parveen Kumar was speaking at the National Strategic Forum to develop a joint roadmap for Fiji as a pathfinder country in eliminating forced labour. Ali Kimbia with the details.
The Fijian government will continue to remain committed to leading the region in the eradication of all forms of forced labour, particularly that of children.
The Fijian government stands with the international community, making it clear that child labour, forced labour and human trafficking in today's world is intolerable.
With Fiji being identified as one of the countries to be a pathfinder nation of eliminating all forms of forced labour and human trafficking, Bala says they will continue to ensure there is a level playing field for the treatment of workers.
We will continue to reform laws through our progressive labour reforms programs to ensure better protection for all workers and employers in Fiji.
Fiji has also received praise from the International Organization for Migration for ratifying laws that protect migrant workers and their families.
Using the opportunity, would like to comment on Fiji's ratification of International Convention on Protection of the Rights of All Migrants and the members of their families, and accession of the United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime and the 3 supplementary protocols.
The forum will discuss Fiji's nomination to become a Pathfinder country under the Global Alliance 8.7 and at the same time accelerate its effort towards achieving our SDGs. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The damage to Fiji Roads Authority traffic lights, street lights, railings and fences is becoming unmanageable. Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says millions of dollars are spent on improving the infrastructure, and repair work is becoming an expensive exercise. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Fiji Roads Authority says on average there are 2 incidents in a week where their property is being damaged.
In the last 3 days we've had 2 incidents, very expensive incidents. Probably looking at least $10,000 per incident. And it's becoming almost unmanageable right now. We had a bad accident on the weekend, a single car accident actually, against the fencing in Namaka. Probably $10,000 of damage there.
A new billing system was introduced by the FRA last year to stop drivers from damaging their assets.
Bills are going out to people, yeah. I can't tell you the exact number right now, but there are people being billed, yeah.
Mua says the estimated cost of damage is $5,000 to $10,000 per week. He says this substantial amount of money could otherwise be used to improve other infrastructure. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Nightclub operators in Suva are assisting police in its operations by ensuring minors are turned away from entering clubs. Even though police have not made any arrests in this regard, Down Under Pub Fiji says their security officers are strict on who gets through the door. Kelly Vadala reports.
Just like any other nightclub in the capital city, this one is focused on being on the right side of the law when it comes to minors.
Doesn't matter, mate. I don't care. There's no friends in this sort of business. Everybody's your friend when you own a nightclub, and they could be very well the person that you come undone with someone's daughter in here, and I just don't want it. So no photo ID, no entry, not negotiable.
Down Under Pub director Caroline Wainingolo says their bouncers have been briefed on keeping minors out of the club.
Most of the time they do check IDs, because I've told them that we must check IDs, especially during the school holidays as well. This is the time where they want to come into the clubs.
Deputy Police Commissioner Rusiati Tunrawu says doing spot checks in clubs is also part of their night operations.
That is where the security officers have been supporting us, turning away minors. And we would like to thank them for that. We haven't arrested anyone in that regards.
Police say it will continue to carry out operations to ensure Fijians are safe from criminal elements. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Up ahead, lawyer mindset changing, says legal aid. And single mothers make a statement. Details after the break.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, my name is Sotiama here in Ba. We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, I'm Miri. I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Hi, my name is Fiona from Tavua and I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hi, I'm Ini from Rakiraki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The mindset of lawyers in Fiji not wanting to join the Legal Aid Commission has rapidly changed due to the work done by the Commission over the years. While presenting during the Regional Legal Aid Conference at the Intercontinental Resort, Acting Director Shaheen Ali says now the Commission is the largest law firm in the country and continues to grow. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The challenges faced by the Legal Aid Commission a few years back in terms of employing lawyers has drastically changed as the Commission has established itself as a law firm that assist Fijians who cannot afford legal representation or advice.
People did not want to join legal aid before. It was something that lawyers did not want to sort of take up as a job. Firstly, because we were not paying them very well, we couldn't afford to pay lawyers very well. And plus, there was always a tag that, you know, these guys provide service for free, so they're not competent enough, or they're not as good as the others. And those were the tags that we had to live with for some time, until a few years ago.
Ali also highlighted that previously during recruitment, they would only receive one application. However, during their last intake, they had 60 lawyers applying. Similar sentiments from the acting Chief Justice Kamal Kumar that before people would not engage with a lawyer during a dispute because they could not afford it. However, the legal aid has changed this.
And the social reform in terms of establishing legal aid commission office all over Fiji will allow the improvised to seek legal advice and apply for appropriate remedy from courts to resolve disputes with the assistance of legal representation.
But given the fact that everybody's been so salutary about Fiji and the fact that there's so much investment in the Legal Aid Commission, the fundamental question is, why is Fiji doing what it's doing? And I think for that, we need to go back to our constitution.
The Legal Aid Commission currently employs over 200 staff with over 100 lawyers working for the commission. Philip Naikaso, FBC News.
An innovative approach to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals passed in 2015 is critical for regional countries. This was highlighted by Srijana Rana, the team leader for innovative growth at the UNDP office, who explained the strategy. Chasai Nanunga with the details.
Rana says in collaboration with USP and Department of Foreign and Trade, the UNDP has established an innovation hub to engage professionals from diverse backgrounds to reach out to the unreachable in society.
So our role is to ensure that all these new stakeholders, specifically the marginalized, the women, the youth, people with disabilities and people living in outer islands, can also engage and participate with the growth opportunities.
USP Deputy Vice Chancellor Professor Derek Armstrong says innovation is part of the Institute's strategic plan.
We set about looking for partners to work with to how we could actually promote this innovation agenda. And immediately we came across the UNDP, who were...
Engaging members with wealth of traditional knowledge has assisted these organizations respond to climate action.
Building on their traditional skills, indigenous knowledge to develop resilience to address Pacific challenges.
Innovation is not simply about technology, it's also about developing practices which are embedded in knowledge, particularly traditional knowledge, where there is evidence of how those practices work.
Meanwhile, international organizations such as the UNDP and DFAT is adamant to continue supporting the Institute in their endeavor to come up with their own definitions and solutions, fostering innovation and network throughout the region. Chosai Nanunga, FBC News.
19 women graduated from the International Needs Fiji Solo Mums project in Suva today. They are testament to single mothers pursuing their dreams and creating a future for their children. Priya Nand with the details.
It was an overwhelming day for the single mothers who graduated after undergoing almost 3 months of training in vocational skills. These women have struggled with hardships over the years to become the women they are today.
Kids' faces kept reminding me that I had a responsibility towards them. Something just kept on telling me, get up, get up, get up. And then when I joined this program, I just knew the reason why that I had that voice to tell me to get up. I learned the responsibility of becoming a better person. First, I have to love myself in order to love my kids.
A mother of 4 who escaped an abusive relationship, Rusila hopes to start her own business.
I want to start my own business. I love baking, so since baking was part of their training, I wanted to learn more about baking and open up a business so that I could support my family, my kids, and to help build my home.
Single mother of two, Milia Metavosa, went through similar experiences and urges mothers who are domestic violence victims to safeguard their children.
Been verbal abuse, physical abuse, any form of abuse, you name that. Coming out from there, I choose to make a stand because of my two children. Just because of my two children. And that's my advice today. Parents or even single mom, if you're going to make a choice of your life today, just think of your children.
These women are different in many ways, age, ethnicity and experience, but they are the same when it comes to creating a bright future for their kids. Priyanand, FBC News.
The Fiji Cancer Society collected $432,700 in 2018 through its 3 fundraising initiatives. Fiji Cancer Society CEO Belinda Chan says through Fiji's biggest morning tea, Pinktober and Movember campaigns, they were able to sustain the services that they offer to those who are battling cancer and their families. She adds that the society currently supports 166 cancer patients, with the number increasing every month. Chan says in July alone, 15 new cancer patients were assisted by the Cancer Society. She says that the biggest challenge they face are patients who present themselves to hospitals or the Cancer Society for assistance at a very late stage of their cancer.
Despite all our awareness out there in the community, we still have cases that are presented late. And I'm only focusing on breast and cervical. There are a lot of women that are still coming in late. We have a good number of women that are coming in early, thanks to the outreach program. There's still a lot more that are coming in late. Some of these are mothers in rural areas. Some of them are educated women, professional women.
And it's business time now with Koroi.
Thank you, Jackie. Coming up, are super yachts the future of business? And in growing Fiji, multi-million-dollar building for church. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Shamiza. And I'm Salma. We're from Nandi and we love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
My name is Rajnita Lata and I'm from Vatulaloba. और हम सब मिर्ची FM सुनता है because it's hot.
Hi, my name is Vinita. I'm from Lambasa. I love listening to Mirchi FM. It's number 1.
हमारा नाम सागर रेड्डी है। हम लोग स्कूल में, हम लोग घर में और कहीं भी रहता हम लोग खाली मिर्ची एफएम सुनता। गौल टाउन तावा में मिर्ची एफएम दागो मामा।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business, a niche business in the tourism sector, is expected to grow considerably in the coming years with the potential to hit the $100 million mark. Managing Director for Ports and Denarau Marina, Nigel Skaggs, says super yachts and boats coming through to Fiji and berthing at the marina bring in an estimated $60 million in revenue, more than half of which is in actual cash spending in the economy. Maggie Boyle reports.
It's a growing business that's boosting the tourism trade.
So direct spending, actual cash spent here, it's around $35 million a year. And indirect spending through ancillary businesses, employment and various other services that are associated with the yachting industry, we're seeing somewhere around $60 to $65 million a year as a contribution to Fiji's economy.
With the America's Cup in New Zealand in 2021, business is expected to hit an all-time high.
Around 20 super yacht visits to an average of around 55 at the moment. Over the next 2 years, we expect to see very significant growth due to the America's Cup in Auckland. At this stage, there's well over 100 super yachts due to come through.
Recently listed on the stock exchange, Port Denarau Marina also provides an investment opportunity.
You have, of course, the compliance requirements which need to be met. There is a lot of ordinary Fijians who have invested, so it is important for us to protect the interest of those shareholders by making sure that the company has all the compliance requirements adhered to.
Expansion plans are also in the pipeline for the marina given the buoyant trade. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Sharon is now here with the latest from the money markets.
Looking at the latest from the forex market, the US Federal Reserve's meeting minutes released today showed that policymakers were deeply divided over their last rate cut. It seemed the Fed is not eager to give President Donald Trump the larger rate cut reduction he's demanding. The decision indicated a broad concern among policymakers over a global economic slowdown, trade tensions and sluggish inflation. Traders will now eagerly look for signs of just how far the US Central Bank is prepared to lower rates when the Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks at Jackson Hole this weekend. The benchmark 10-year Treasury yield continued to fluctuate and dipped to 1.58%, while trade remains subdued ahead of this weekend's economic summit. Elsewhere, Japanese shares bumped higher, along with gains in China and Australia. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. With world markets cautious and confused, in almost a reversal of yesterday, the Fiji dollar rose against the New Zealand dollar, the euro and the yen, but slipped against the yuan, US and Aussie dollars, as well as the kina. Taking a look at the commodities, prices were mixed. Oil prices dropped slightly at $56 a barrel. Gold was down a couple of dollars at $1,501 per ounce, and silver rose to 17.80 cents per ounce. In growing Fiji, the proposal put forward by the Methodist Church's business arm, the Lakoya Niveau Management, to build a $2 multi-million-dollar buildings has been approved during the annual Methodist conference this morning. While highlighting the project proposal, the management chair, Laisenia Garase, says the project will see the building of 2 high-rise infrastructure, which will be able to generate income for the church. Sanyani Boiler reports.
Laisenia Garase today clarified the new Lakoyani multi-million-dollar project, which will include the building of an 8-story building at the current airport house and a 11-story building at the current Nakaora building site.
If we are going to build the Nakaora house, it will cost $30 million to $35 million. We will borrow half of the money from the financial institutions and we will give half. So if you ask where we will source the money from, we are going to sell some of the least used properties of the church to help in the fast track of this development.
Church Communications Secretary Wilfred Rengunamanda says the $75 million project will take 24 months to be complete.
The visibility study of the locations, and then from there they are going to continue to advise the conference on how about they are going to build the house. Because the visibility study will be of the land, how safe it is, how are they going to start off the project here in Nakaora.
Meanwhile, leading the agenda tomorrow will be the presentation of the church's financial report. The week-long conference ends tomorrow. Sainian Imbola, FBC News.
That's it from Business Tonight. Sports is up next with Jamie.
Thanks, Corey, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Murumuriwalu recalls childhood memories of flying Fijians, and Nasinu out to maintain winning run over Nandi. There's some more coming up.
Navango merea maramani waya manatu sawa wetikitutunde Nandi ya ndo marata kana varonga na radio Fijian.
Yawa asna vatili yawa maga Monica. Tondo varonga vale bunar domai biti lambasa.
Bula nadango aprosa nangarse ngor kraki do televio na varonga na radio Fijian na domai biti. Nadango tsani bukia ngoni na mosi am do taleta kana varonga na radio Fijian na domai biti su.
Radio Fijian na domai.
The memory of watching the Flying Fijians play in the quarter-final of the 2007 Rugby World Cup is still fresh in the mind of Kini Murumuriwalu. At the time, he was an 18-year-old at boarding school. 12 years later, he's preparing to embark on his third World Cup with the hope of achieving what his heroes did in 2007. Akula Dama caught up with him at training today and filed this report.
Kini Murumuriwalu cannot believe that he will be representing Fiji for the third time at a Rugby World Cup, as he recalls one unforgettable moment back at Queen Victoria School.
I never dreamt of playing 3 World Cup. It started back when I was in the Kives, 2007 I think, when Fiji when Fiji played South Africa, and we're back at the dining hall watching the game, and it was so emotional, and to see the boys happy back in school, and it came straight to my mind like maybe one day I'll be there representing Fiji.
Murumuriwalu was also part of the Flying Fijians team bonding exercise at Namuamo village in Namosi yesterday, and he says it was quite an experience.
Most of the time we spend our training and also our day off here in the city. So it was a good experience, especially for me, individual, to see the players, the sacrifice, and the family that they've put on in preparing the breakfast and also the lunch, and to be there just to support the boys. And it's really emotional, and it also motivates the boys.
Meanwhile, for Rugby World Cup first time of William Mata, it has been quite an interesting journey so far.
So far, being selected into the World Cup squad is something great for me, just to improve my rugby. Yeah, been emotional and really looking forward to be part of the squad for the World Cup.
The Flying Fijians will break camp on Saturday before traveling to New Zealand next week for their clash against Tonga at Eden Park. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Airways Flying Fijians today officially received a check of $2.5 million from government through the Fiji National Sports Commission. The team has used part of the funding in preparation for the Rugby World Cup from last year, beginning with the November tour and the Maori All Blacks test this year. Sports Commission Chairman Peter Mazie says the funding represents government's commitment to the Flying Fijians for the World Cup.
We're extremely grateful to the support we get from the Fiji government and the Fiji Sports Commission. It wouldn't be possible for us to run the world-class program we're running in our preparation without this kind of support from the Fijian government. So, Peter, on our behalf, pass that thanks on, particularly from myself and from the team. I really appreciate that. Okay.
Defending the Australian National Rugby Championship trophy will be a lot tougher for the Fijian Drua than many realize. Being 2018 champions guarantee bigger targets on their backs this season against the beefed-up Australian teams. Felipe Naikaso has more.
Following the Drua's successful season of the NRC competition last year, the team is highly aware of the tough task they have of defending their title.
It is going to be tough. It's going to be tougher than last year. Everyone wants to beat the Drua. And especially when and all the Super Rugby players, they will be going into their franchise while they're on standby from a call-up from the World Cup from the Wallabies. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and it's as you can see the mixture of a lot of new players, and but it gives another opportunity for another player to step up.
With the team also being in camp for the past 2 weeks, players have been undergoing a number of physical sessions to get them into shape.
We'll be helping each other, telling them how the Drua plays last year, and helping each other in position. And there's a lot of the older players here who played last year, so we'll be helping each other for the new ones this year.
The players will also need to get used to traveling in and out of the country, and this is an area Servakula will work on.
We're marching into camp on Tuesday next week, and then we fly out to Brisbane on Wednesday, and then 2 sessions in Brisbane on Thursday, Captain's Run on Friday, and then play our first game on the Saturday, and fly out on Sunday, and then we prepare again the next week, and the turnaround is short.
The Fijian Drua will take on Brisbane City next Saturday in their opening match. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
32 teams go head-to-head over the next 3 days at the Fiji Beta Savu Savu Sevens, currently underway at Ratu Nganilau Park in Savu Savu. Launched last night at Yaroi Village, this is only the second time the tournament is being held, thanks to a $16,000 sponsorship from Fiji Beta. Speaking at the event, Managing Director for Paradise Beverage, Joe Roden Sr. says they've been sponsoring rugby in the country for many years, and they will continue to do so. He adds it's only right they show their support in Savu Savu as well for the development of rugby at grassroots level.
For us, sponsoring rugby in Savu Savu is something big for us. It's big because when you look around and you look at rugby in Savu Savu, it's not as well organized, or you don't have a competition that you have every week, like a 15 competition. And having this 7th tournament to us is coming out to help the players and the people of Savu Savu and get them entertained.
5 teams from Vitilevo also taking part in the 7th tournament. They are Ratu Felice, Ului Nakau, Ngau Kadau, Lami Cavaliers and St. John Raimba. The main prize money for the event is $7,000. While Nasinu would like to maintain its winning run over Nandi when they meet in the Vodafone Premier League match this weekend, finding a pitch to prepare for the game has been problematic. Faria Begum with the details.
Not being able to find the grounds for training may negatively impact Nasinu's game against Nandi.
Yeah, we haven't been training from this week because there's no ground available. And like in Nasinu, there's no ground in Nasinu at all. Even we have the Valley level ground, but it has been used for other purposes. And they're saying they're going to develop it, but it's taken years now. So, and this is what we're facing at the moment in Nasinu.
But coach Tangi Vonolangi remains optimistic that mental preparation will enable his team to maintain its unbeaten record against Nandi. Nasinu has beaten Nandi in all encounters since its promotion to the Premier Division.
Well, a lot of mental preparation this time. Nandi is a good team. Yeah, Nandi is a good team, champion team. As you can see, they beat Rewa last week. And we will do a lot of mental preparation this week.
Nandi's young star Jaishal Kumar says they will be banking on the Fiji under-23 reps to ensure they end Nasinu's unbeaten run.
There's 5 boys who are in under-23 camp. Like we just came back from under-23 camp, so our coordination was good. And like other boys, they were Fiji national team squad. They were in that, so we managed to combine together and managed to play well.
Nasinu will meet Nandi at 3 p.m. on Saturday at the Uprising Sports Centre in Pacific Harbour. Faria Begum, FBC Sports.
The interest in 3-on-3 basketball in Fiji is gaining momentum. This has been attributed to the recent success of Fiji teams at the Pacific Games in Samoa, where the women's side won gold and the men settled for silver in the abbreviated version of the sport. Fiji 3-on-3 basketball manager to the Youth Leadership Cup in Bali next month, Vika Ramara, says this is a great sign for them.
The 3-on-3 competition has been going on for years, but it wasn't actually recognized that much throughout the country. But ever since that they've won the silver and gold medal in the South Pacific Games, there's so much interest that's been shown by our young peers, usually our young peers, and the anticipation is through the roof.
Meanwhile, the winner of the Under-18 3-on-3 Mixed Championship at Damoda City tomorrow will represent Fiji in Bali, Indonesia next month. That's it from Sports Tonight. In new media, Facebook's Clear History feature explained. Details coming up.
रहता है हमारा नाम उमेश कुमार हम देता है रेलू और रेडियो फिजी में हरदम सुनता है बहुत पुराना गाना लगे और बहुत रोते सुनता है बहुत अच्छा लगे हमको
उमेश चंद्रा और कांता चंद्रा हमारा वाइफ है हम लोग रेडियो फिजी 2 बहुत सुंदर से सुनता है बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम नंबर 1 रेडियो
कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लुगु लटोका रेडियो फिजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे
कुमार नकाफी में रहता है रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been cold throughout the day with little rain. Now Friday is just around. The most thrilling time is almost here. Now taking a look in the west, sunny along with few sprinkles. Eastwards from Pack Harbour to Suva, it was very gloomy with cool winds. Another cold night tonight. And up north, more clear spells indicated. The night calls for more showers. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate seas. For the tides, low tide at 11:23 p.m. with high tide at 5:43 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:21. For tomorrow, now that it's finally here, showers have decided to pop in and take over. But hey, it's still a Friday. Tomorrow's temps, it looks pretty cool in the high 20s. And looking further on to Saturday, appealing weather in the bag. Hopefully it remains at that. Definitely Jackie hopes that too.
Most definitely.
And it's back to you.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse segment tonight, we asked, who is your favourite player in the Flying Fijians?
My favorite player is Semi Penatani Park, and just want to wish you all the best in the upcoming games, and please bring the cup back home.
My favorite player is Ben Volavola. I like to wish him all the best in the World Cup series that will be coming.
And my favorite player is Lepani Botia, and I wish him all the best in his game.
My favorite player is Jostamani because I like his speed. He embraces me to play rugby more and score more tries, and I wish him all the best.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, Lambasa family grieves death of woman. Government takes stance against child labour. And FRA fighting a losing battle. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question this week we're asking, are you happy with the 32-member Flying Fijians team named for the Rugby World Cup? Visit the FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day comes from Johnny. This was taken in Savu as everyone gears up for the Sevens tournament there this weekend. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News. Follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks. Bulaminaka, I'm Linda Form, a student Suva. I love listening to Today FM because they play latest music and they rock.
Hi, my name is Osnate. I'm from Ba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm a curator from Nandi. We love listening to Today FM. Here in Nandi, it rocks.
Hi, I'm Shania. I'm from Lotoka and I love Today FM and it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.